Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 3. We're gonna be talking World Cup. We had a little bit of banter going on, as you can see. I have my Ecuador flag in the back, and I think that's Italy. Is that the team that didn't make it twice that you were holding, Russo?
No, it's the team that has 4 more World Cups than you guys.
Oh, okay.
That's
I'm gonna go
Anyways,
put my Canada sweater on. I'll be right back. I'm kidding. No.
Let's you guys should know us by now. I'm Alejandro. It's Russo, Alessandro, and Randy. You still have your name as West Ham, Alessandro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what we were doing. Still, I'm West Ham is Alessandro. That's me.
Okay, that's okay. So I think this is where we'll have a lot of fun topics. This international. I'm Ecuadorian. You guys can introduce where you guys are from and the nationalities. I'm also Canadian, but I'm more of a. If anything, I'm more of a Mexican fan than a Canadian fan. But I still support Canada. I love them. But Ecuador is my number one team. I'm kind of obsessed. Sí se puede.
All Canadian here, but background, I'm Ecuadorian as well. So I support Ecuador more than Canada, but, since Canada made the World Cup, I'll be rooting for them. But, my focus is more on Ecuador.
Yeah, Italian. Now, I don't know. I'm used to it now, but no, going for Canada, I guess.
Oh, why?
Just being here. Because I live in Canada, Ali.
Okay.
You kind of have to, though.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever.
Well, me, born in Canada, background is Italian and Portuguese. So, well, a lot of people don't know this. I've always supported Canada. I know this is probably their, biggest success since their first World Cup appearance. But since Italy decided not to make it, it's going to be, you'll see me wear Canada and Portugal. Hopefully CR7 can get that World Cup. But yeah, those are the two I will be supporting at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
I could actually vouch for Alessandro. Ever since I've known him, he's actually gone for Canada. I'm pretty sure even back for the 2018 World Cup, I remember him talking about.
Their qualifying. It was heartbreaker that year, but we ended this year.
So what we're gonna do is for these videos, since we're kind of late on this on the YouTube channel, we're just gonna be doing a couple of groups instead of one group breakdown. So today we're gonna be doing G and H. So wait, G and H or H and
G?
H and G. And we're gonna go backwards just because there's 2 Ecuadorians on this podcast. We're gonna save that one for last, and we'll start with Portugal first, since there's one half Portuguese person here. So, and we'll also talk about our 3 picks. So I think maybe we should talk with our 3 favorites and our biggest flop. Maybe we could do our biggest flop first. So we'll start with Russo first.
I don't know. Flop, I'll say France just because I think everyone's maybe expecting them to go far. Maybe not win it, but they're expecting them to go deep. I don't think they're going to go deep. I don't know. They're just... it might be the World Cup curse. Like Italy, Germany, could be France now. It's happened. I don't know. Benzema is not obviously in great form. Pogba, Kante aren't there. Deschamps doesn't really know what he's doing, especially in what's it called? What's it called? The
Nations League?
Yeah, Nations League. I don't know. I had such a blank. They didn't do good in Nations League, so I don't know. He's fallen off a cliff since the World Cup. So I don't think they're gonna. I think they might be the biggest flop, or biggest disappointment, or whatever.
It's kind of hard for me to pick, so I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna go in terms of like people's dark horse, who I see a lot, and I'm gonna go with typical and like group stage kind of. So I think for group stage, this is biased again. I think the biggest flop for group stages are gonna be a tie between Senegal and Uruguay. Just because I think a lot of people are expecting Senegal to make it out, and I'm going to say Uruguay because I don't believe they're going to make it out of the group. We'll get into that in a second. I think overall biggest flop is going to be England. I think they're going to get knocked out pretty early on. So They got really lucky with their group.
Well, when it comes to flop, I don't know who to pick. Right now, I'm leaning towards, and probably a lot of people would agree with me, I'm going Belgium on this one. Yeah, they'll make it out of the group, but I think round of 16 depends on who they get. If you give me a sec, I can look at any potential matchups.
I think it would be Spain or Germany.
Yeah, see, like those are. Germany's a dark horse pick for me. I know we're not there yet, but I think Belgium, they'll maybe top the group, unless Croatia and maybe Canada can surprise. But I don't think they're going to go anywhere. And the golden age of Belgium's over after this World Cup, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I could see that as a. Oh, I should say today, but I also think. Oh well, 3-1 Brighton.
Yeah, I just seen that. Fucking hell, bro.
I could also say Germany, but we'll get into that into another video. Anyways, Randy, you're next for your 3.
Yeah. So biggest flop. I'm torn. I'm torn between France and Belgium, but I think I'm gonna go with France. World Cup curse always gets every team. I'm pretty sure they'll make it past their group stage. It's decent tough, but I feel like they get the job done. But I don't know. I think they have a lot of injuries. Their main midfield of Pogba and Kante, one that's carried them throughout many games in past tournaments, they're not going to be there. So, it's going to be different for them. And also, I don't like Deschamps as their manager. They don't really have an identity, and they have a lot of egos on that team, and I don't think he's going to be able to manage that pretty well. So I'm going to say France is going to be, the biggest flop.
I'll actually pull out something right now about their injury list. They have a pretty big injury list. I don't know if you guys have seen. It's more than most people think. It's Mike McGannon.
Mignon.
Yeah.
Oh, Mignon. Oh, love him.
He's out.
That's gonna be it's gonna be a tough out there.
Varane is out. Pogba is out, and Kante is out. That's pretty deep. And if you think about it, I don't think anyone's really considering this. I know I consider it as an Ecuadorian, but teams that suffer from depth, you got to imagine, just because that team makes it to the World Cup with no injuries doesn't mean there won't be no injuries at the World Cup. So let's say France's first game is against France's first game injury Mbappe or Benzema, who seems to be very injury prone right now. So they have depth, but I don't think they have enough depth to cover 5 injuries. Lastly, let's just go quickly our dark horse. Just one dark horse or 2 dark horse, you can spit it out. I'll say mine's is Japan. I could actually see them making a quarterfinals.
Wow.
Go next, Russell.
I'd say Denmark. They did good in Euros. Unlucky, I guess. Maybe unlucky against England and that penalty. They were one of the best teams in qualifiers, and even in Nations League they continued that form. They're playing really good.
Stole the show there.
Exactly. So they have a good team, good manager, knows what he's doing. They're a good team.
For dark horse, I know I've already said Germany, but I'm gonna pick 2 other ones, or just another 2 from me. I gotta agree with Russo. I think Denmark are gonna be a sleeper team this World Cup. They have a great squad, a mix of young and old. I think they can go pretty far, and I don't know. I'm gonna pick South Korea here. I think they're another team, great squad. It's not just Son on the team, so we gotta keep that in mind. And I don't know. I think they can get second place in the group. I feel like Uruguay might fall off, and it'll be Portugal, South Korea for that group. So those are my 2, plus Germany, 3 dark horses.
Quickly, before Randy start, Brighton just put on Estupinian, and Arsenal just put on Jesus and Shevchenko. So they're really trying to go for this. But I think that
Just take the L, man. Like, we don't need the extra games. It's already 3-1.
It's the Carabao Cup, guys. Come on. I'm not dissing the tournament, but there's bigger trophies to be won here for Arsenal.
Like I said in our past video too, this is probably going to be good for Arsenal too in the league.
Yeah, could be a blessing in disguise.
Anyways, you're next, Randy.
Yeah. For my dark horses, I got two. Same thing as Russo. I'm gonna say Denmark. They past tournaments they've been pretty good and they've been unlucky in some games, but they have a good team. Eriksson, they got Christensen, and Christensen every time he plays for his country, he always seems to turn up. He's very solid at the back. Eriksson in the midfield. And they just have a really good team. They play as a unit, and they always give any team problems, whoever they come up against. But my second one, I'm gonna go with Spain. They have a really good team. Besides their attackers, I feel like they have a really good midfield. My boy Pedri. He's gonna have a really good World Cup. He's so class. I feel like he's up there. Better than Foden.
Man, he snuck that one in there.
Had to put that in there, so.
We know who's playing in Champions League.
Oh, okay.
Who starts for the team?
Foden. Pedri's a Europa League player.
Okay. We'll get into that. We'll get into that after. That's for maybe a bonus video of us just arguing. But do you have another, or is that all?
That's it. Just Spain can surprise.
But by dark horse, do you mean for winning it all, or as in just going far? Like
far? Like Spain? I mean, I wouldn't go that far and say could win it, but they can definitely go far because they have a good team. And under Luis Enrique, they've played really well. So, and he gets the best out of them. Even on the old players, he gets them rolling.
All right. So I think we'll just go straight to our three favorites to win. Mine's is Argentina. It's obvious. It's Argentina. I think everyone knows the hype around them at this point. Fortunately, they did have, Lo Celso's injured. But the other big thing I could see that could really conflict Argentina is that semi-final game potential against Brazil, which is my second pick. It's Brazil. And I really do think that the World Cup could come to South America this year. But the only thing that scares me is that Argentina and Brazil are obviously the two favorites, and they look like they would meet in the semifinals. But the biggest, I would say, wall to overcome for a South American team in these World Cups is facing another South American team. Because we both know, and I don't think too many people are realizing this, for Argentina and Brazil facing that semifinals, there will be red cards. There will be fouls, which will not be good for any of those teams to go to most likely European team who's going to go through an easier path on the second side.
It's going to be a battle to the death in that.
Yeah, so that might be the only thing that could stop those two picks, which would bring me to my third pick, which I think is going to surprise a lot of people, is Portugal. I think Portugal has a pretty good, we'll get into it, which I think will be a really good transition, but I think they have a good chance of making it in the first place in their group. Second place, you look at that bracket, Switzerland, Serbia, I think that'll be a good revenge story against any of them. And then bracket knowledge, I think they'll probably face like a Japan in the quarterfinals. Again, that's the semifinals. So I think those are my three picks right now. Russell.
I don't know. It's gonna be Argentina or Brazil that win it. Whether it's either gonna be Messi finally wins it, or Neymar follows the footsteps of Pele. Whatever. It's one of Brazil or Argentina. I don't think there's teams in Europe that are as strong as they are right now. Especially Argentina. Messi has a competent coach now. He knows what he's doing, and when Messi's enjoying his football, he already is the best player of all time, and when he is enjoying the football, he's even better. I don't think anyone. It's them or Brazil. I don't think there's a team in Europe that is better than them. Especially, I think the only team that, like, player for player, obviously there's better teams, but I think the way teams in Europe are playing, especially, I don't think anyone's gonna stop Brazil or Argentina. So it's one of those two. And there's 8 minutes left on this one.
Yeah.
We got third.
I don't know. Spain maybe. Spain's good, and Luis Enrique knows what he's doing too. I don't know. They were good in the Euros. If they would have beat Italy, I think they probably would have won. They would have beat England, but I don't know. Luis Enrique again, yeah, he knows what he's doing. So, but I don't think that it's between Spain or it's between Argentina or Brazil. It's one of those two.
I agree with like everyone. I gotta say Brazil, Argentina have to be the number 1 and 2. And for obvious reasons, this complete squad, managers are good. Like the depth is amazing. If I had to pick a third one, like I don't know, just judging from this episode, there's a lot of hate on France. I don't know. I have a gut feeling they can maybe pull off back to back. That'll be my third one. But if it's against Brazil or Argentina, France is done. So yeah, those are my 3.
Respectable. Yeah, I'm basically the same thing. Actually, the exact same as Ale. I'm going with Argentina first, Brazil second, and Portugal third. Argentina going in with that unbeaten streak. They have an identity now. Everyone's playing together as a team. They have a better coach now, and every time that I see them play, it's not like they're relying on Messi to, produce magic. Everyone's working for him. They know how important this World Cup will be for him. And also, when they won the Copa America, they put in their best performances, for him. And, Lo Celso being out is pretty big miss because him and Messi do have a good connection when they play. But I think, McAllister, he's a pretty good player, so I feel like he'll slot in there pretty well. Or whoever they put in. It could be good. So I believe that, Argentina can win it, and Messi will win his first World Cup and, certify himself as, even though me right now, I have no doubt he's the greatest ever, but, in everybody else's eyes, if he gets that cup, no more debate. It's over.
Even me as a Ronaldo fan, I would have to agree with that. If he can get the big one and Ronaldo can't, I would put him number 1 too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love both of them.
I do love both of them, but if I couldn't put both of them at number 1, but Messi's the one with the World Cup, he's earned that spot.
For me, Messi's number 1 right now, even without the World Cup. But like Randy said, for other people, but again, like Ronaldo would probably be second for me. And yeah. All right, so now we're gonna talk groups and predictions. So I'll start off first, and you guys could come in whenever you want, or just add on. So we'll talk Group H first. So I have Portugal topping this group perfectly, 9 points. The first game's against Ghana. I think that's an easy slap, 3-1. Sorry, Ghana friends. Second game's against Uruguay. I'll get into Uruguay in a second, but I think that's going to be 2-0. Then it's against South Korea. I think that'll be a little bit tighter just because they'll know they have qualified, and it'll be 2-1. Where do you guys have Portugal?
Yeah, for Group H, same thing. I got, Portugal first. Of course, I think they'll do good. The first game, although their first game against Ghana, I feel like it will be close. I think they're going to edge it. I'm predicting a 3-2 win for them.
3-2 win, right?
Ghana is underrated. They have some pretty good players, and so I think they'll test Portugal a lot, especially with their team. Sometimes they can have some off nights, so definitely 3-2. And then second, for the second game, actually, I think Uruguay is going to beat South Korea, but just by a little bit. I think they'll be 2-1. South Korea, underrated team, but
I meant like Portugal's second game. I had them beating Uruguay 2-0. But for my second game that day, I have Uruguay tying South Korea.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Sandro?
For the 2 Portugal games? Match day 1. Let's see. I'm going to go 2-0 on Ghana. I do agree with what Randy said. I don't think it's going to be like a great showing from Portugal, but I could see 2 goals going their way. And yeah, Ghana's underrated. I think it'll be a good showing from them, but won't be enough. And then Portugal's second game. Right now I have a tie between them and Uruguay. That'll be a good, evenly matched contest, and can't really pick a winner right now for those 2. And their third game against South Korea, I got Portugal winning 2-1. Again, I think it'll be one of those games where it's tied. Heading into the later minutes of the game, I can see a goal from a corner, from whatever, really. It doesn't really matter. But those are my 3 predictions for Portugal's games in the group.
And for me, I have Portugal finishing second, so I have them. They'll get by Ghana. I think they'll like scrape by them. I think they're gonna lose to Uruguay, and then I don't know that last game. I think they'll start to maybe they'll. I don't know if they'll feel the nerves or it's just South Korea they'll be stubborn. I think they'll tie. I think Portugal will just get through, but I don't think they're gonna finish top. I think their manager's just. I don't know. He's very inconsistent. I don't even think he has like a set lineup for them. He doesn't know. Like I don't know. I think he doesn't know what to do with like all the players. He has like a lot of good players, a lot of like good attacking players especially, and I think he just doesn't know what to do with them. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. I think their weakest part of the team is the manager, which really sucks because they have such a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Actually, I got confused before. Actually, the 2 other games that I predicted for Portugal, I think they will beat Uruguay because they're, coming into this World Cup, I don't think they're as good as they used to be. They were always challenging before, and they had a really solid squad. But I think they'll beat them this time. They're out for revenge, and get the job done. And then against Korea. Same thing with Alessandro. I think it will be close, and then at the end, they'll nick a goal, and to solidify them first place.
Yeah, so I think we all agree on that last game being really close. And all of us, except for Russo, having Portugal in first. I'm gonna start backwards. I'm gonna go with Uruguay just because I have a lot to say about them. I love whenever a South American team makes the World Cup. I always go for them, except for Peru. So I really wanted to see Uruguay do well in this World Cup. I really thought they were going to be a dark horse. They slapped Mexico 3-0, I'm pretty sure, 4-0, and without Suarez. I thought that was really impressive. Unfortunately, without Araujo, it's going to be... I have them in finishing 4th because I think he really holds down that defensive line. I don't think Bentancur and all of them... They're all getting really old. Golin, I just don't see them pulling it through. I think the best parts of this team is Valverde, really, and Araujo. And Valverde is going to be by himself. Cavani's injured. Suarez isn't in his best form. He's older too, Nunes, I think he's going to want to perform as well as he can, but I think he's going to try overperforming and it's going to get to his head as they're going to see that I had their first game, them tying to South Korea. I think they're going to go into their second game really nervous because it's going to be against Portugal, and Portugal is going to be going in like full blast revenge. Seeing the way they're going to look at it is if they win this game, that's it. Portugal's through. So I think it's 2-0, like I said before. And then last game, Uruguay's last game, I'll save it for who I have because it's going to be really, really tight between second and third in this group, I feel like.
Same. go at the same time.
So who do you guys have as your fourth?
I'd Korea fourth.
Korea?
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, Korea fourth.
I got Ghana coming in at fourth, but it's gonna be tightly contested. Like it's really hard with all these groups, but yeah, I got them coming in at fourth.
Yeah, we're all pretty different on that then. I think did we all get different answers except for no, Randy's Russo, both Korea,
Yeah.
Okay.
me Uruguay, and Alessandro Ghana. So my second team that I have making it through on 4 points is Ghana. Like you said, I think they're really underrated, Randy. I think they have a lot of new players coming in. I think they're gonna get lucky going through. I honestly thought South Korea was gonna go through, but now that I looked at all these games and I put my predicted score, I saw that Ghana would just make it through with 1 point because I have them tying South Korea 1-1
Mhm.
and then beating Uruguay 1-0 the last final game. I know that's really like ballsy, I would say, because it's everyone knows what happened between Uruguay and Ghana, but I really do see Ghana beating them just because Aruko's not there and all of the talent they have coming. I mean, Tarek Lamptey just scored today, so. And then South Korea, obviously, that leaves them in third, just missing out by 1 point. Yeah, what do you guys have?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be tight between Uruguay and Ghana. But I got Uruguay going in second. Actually, I'm not sure. It can go either way, really. I think they will beat South Korea in the first game, like I predicted, with the 2-1. They'll lose to Portugal in the second game. But that last game with Ghana, that's gonna be another fight to the death. It's revenge for Ghana, really. They're looking for that. As soon as I remember when the group stages came out, every Ghana fan was like
Revenge.
excited for this matchup.
Too excited.
They want this revenge. So really it can go either way. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ghana went through. So if I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna stick with Uruguay, and they'll probably end up tying or losing in the last game.
I had Ghana third and then Portugal second. I think Portugal is just gonna get by. I don't know. Again, I think the manager is gonna cause them more problems than help them. I don't know. He's just
So by that knowledge, you have Uruguay first.
Uruguay first, Portugal second, Ghana third. I think Uruguay's getting through 3-for-3, 9 points.
Oh, wow.
I think Valverde is gonna carry them. Nunes will. I don't know. He's the one they have to rely on. Obviously, I don't know if Suarez is. Even if Suarez does play, he's obviously not.
It's a loss to Ashburn, though.
Yeah. And even their goalkeeper, if you look at their goalkeeper, they don't have the best options right now. And I like to keep up with them. I like my South American countries, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it looking good for them this tournament. I think they're actually a little bit too overhyped, and I think that's why I had them as one of my flops because I think people are expecting them to come out of this group. But who do you have, Sandro?
It was hard to do this one, but I got Uruguay edging out South Korea for that second spot. I know I kind of said Korea might surprise, and part of me still feels like that, but no, Uruguay has the squad. They have the players. I think the manager knows what he's doing. It was a really good qualifying round for him. So Portugal first. I'm going to stand by that. Uruguay second. South Korea third, and Ghana. Valiant effort, I hope, from them. Will finish fourth.
Well, yeah, also I'm looking at my scores right now, and if Uruguay does tie Ghana, that last game is so important for this whole group, in my eyes, because if Uruguay ties Ghana, then South Korea goes through. If Ghana win, Ghana go through. If Uruguay win, Uruguay go through. So it's all like that game determines first, second, third. But anyways, let's move on to Group G. I think everyone is gonna have pretty much the same thing. So we'll just go through this one quickly.
Yeah.
We'll start from the bottom up. So fourth, I have Cameroon.
Yeah, same.
I got
Yeah.
Serbia.
You have Serbia?
Yeah. I don't think they have a good team, but I think Cameroon's better than them.
Okay. And then Alessandro, you have
I had Cameroon in fourth.
okay. And then I have Switzerland in third.
Serbia third.
I got Cameroon third.
Serbia third for me.
Serbia third for you. So
Yeah, I think Switzerland edges them out a little bit.
okay, and second I have Serbia.
Switzerland third.
I got Switzerland second.
Yeah, same with Randy. Switzerland second for me.
Everyone has Switzerland second. Second. I'm just writing this down for the bracket.
Mhm.
And then I think we all know.
Yeah,
Brazil.
Brazil.
Go for Canada or Brazil. I feel like they won't lose a game.
But the one thing
yeah, I could
see
see him go 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Probably.
I could too, but the one thing is, I think Brazil is going to go into this a little bit too confident. I think they're going to tie their first game, and that's what determined who was going to go through for me. Unless it was Cameroon. But for me, I didn't remember who Brazil faced first, if it was Switzerland or Serbia. And it's Serbia, so I think Serbia will take a tie, 1-1 or 0-0. It probably won't be 0-0, it'll probably be 1-1. I think Vlahovic is amazing. And Brazil's definitely not going to lose that game. So that's just going to be 1 point added on to Serbia to go through this tournament. That's going to be really tight between them and Switzerland. And if once Brazil tie that first game, they're going to be like, okay, we need to step this up and destroy Switzerland next game. So by that, though, if we all have Brazil in first, that means Brazil will face Uruguay for Russo's prediction. Oh, no, not Russo's prediction. Randy and Alessandro's prediction. That game's kind of interesting because if you think about it, like I said before, Cannonball's biggest enemy is Cannonball. So that really wouldn't help Brazil because Uruguay is really tough. They're one of the hardest teams to face in South America.
They faced them a lot, so they know how.
They know they'll beat them 100%. But the problem is, like Randy, you know this. Uruguay is a very, very physical team.
Yeah.
They will hurt the Brazilians.
Under your skin, they're gonna do everything they can.
They're gonna hurt them. They're you will expect 1 or 2 missing for that quarterfinal match.
For sure.
So, and then for Russo, that means you would have Portugal facing.
Yeah.
I have Ghana. I think Brazil would go through easily. And then, what do you think? Portugal versus Brazil.
Bro, as much as people are gonna want it to be like, because obviously people want like Portugal and Argentina in the finals. Bro, that's it for Portugal. If they finish second, like I think, and it's them versus Brazil, Brazil's gonna walk by them easy.
I'll be done if it happens.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if Portugal finishes second, then yeah, that'll definitely end their tournament really quick because they're on the hard side.
Yeah.
It won't be easy. But then all you guys have Switzerland, so that changes a little for us because I have Serbia, which means they would face Portugal, and I would have Portugal going through. You guys have Switzerland, and most of you guys would have Portugal first. So Randy, Alessandro, what do you think? Portugal versus Switzerland.
Oof. I think Portugal will beat them. Switzerland, they're good, but Portugal just have a more complete team. If they get it together, their coach actually plays the right players. You know, Alessandro can agree. They'll get past them.
No, I completely agree. If Fernando Santos can get a good lineup going, I can see him beating Switzerland no problem. Maybe not no problem. I take that back. I can see that game going to like extra time as well. But I think Portugal has it. if that's the matchup to go. Switzerland's not as strong to beat Portugal, in my opinion.
Switzerland, actually, they're a really good team, but I don't think they're a tournament team. It's coming from a South American, so I don't know what your opinion would be, but I've always seen them as like they could be anyone, like on their day, you know. But like in European competitions and in the Nations League, like they don't really last. Like they can never really get good, like 3 good games in a row, like I've seen.
No, I mean in the Euros, they did good. Like they made it to the quarterfinals. They beat France and then they lost on penalties to Spain. So I mean they like easily could have made the semifinals if they would have won on pens. They could have been in the semifinals, but I don't know. I don't know if that was just like that's a lucky tournament or I don't know. Like they have a good like group of players.
And okay, then that relieves you, Russo, which would be Uruguay versus Switzerland.
Yeah, I think. I
That'll be a way more like.
I think it'd be a close game. I don't know. Maybe I'm overestimating Uruguay, but I don't know. I think they would beat them still. I think Uruguay would win. But
I think if Uruguay were to make it in first somehow and face Switzerland, I think they would actually be able to beat Switzerland too.
Yeah.
Okay, and then our last group. Wait, does anyone have any more thoughts on before we move on?
No. I think so.
Okay, so then Group F. This is our group, Canadians group. It's a good way to end. We'll start. We'll go top to bottom.
Okay.
I have Belgium in first.
Yeah, same.
I agree.
Belgium, yeah, I see them beating Canada 2-0. Beating Morocco 2-0, and then edging out Croatia 1-0. Just because, again, I think what I've seen in World Cups is that third game, if you're through, they usually start the first half, starters, and then second half they rest. Second place, I have Croatia.
Yeah, I have Croatia too.
Croatia too.
I got Canada.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rep the Canadians on this one. I feel like they can do it.
I'd be a little biased, but I genuinely think like they can do it, and I think they could actually beat Croatia or at least get a draw out of it.
How about you, Russell?
I wanted to put Canada, but I don't know. Obviously it's that game against Croatia. If they get something from that, then I don't know. That's obviously that's the deciding game. But I don't know. I don't know. Like it depends how bad Davies' injury is too. Like obviously he's gonna be able to play. Byron said, but he might not be 100% playing. So I don't know. And then our defense obviously isn't that strong. So I don't know. I just think Croatia's too much.
Yeah, I see. Like, I actually have it really close. Like, I wasn't even trying to be biased. I have Croatia just making it through by goal differential because if you look at it, Belgium's beating both Croatia and Canada easy, right? And then when you think about it too, no disrespect to the Moroccans, but Canada and Croatia are both beating Morocco. I do think Canada will be able to tie Croatia. But if that's the case, then it goes down to goal differential. It's like, okay, who's going to lose more to Belgium? When I think about that, Canada will. And who's going to score more on Morocco? I think Croatia will.
Croatia, yeah.
So, which leaves Morocco in fourth.
Yeah, I got Croatia third and then Morocco fourth.
Me, when I put Canada over Croatia, it's definitely goal differential, maybe by a point. Depends on how other fixtures go. So it's going to be close. Like if Canada misses it, it's going to be missing it closely. If they get in by either the goals we score or the goals we don't let it or we don't concede. So yeah, it's going to be close for them. Our Canadians go through.
Yeah, I agree. I really hope they do. You know, I think we all could say that. I didn't ever think of Canada. You know, I've been to one Canada game against Belize. It was fun, but that was like 7 years ago, and I never really looked at them as a soccer team. And for them to have played the qualification that they did, it's amazing finishing first, just going from like 0 to hero. So I would love to see them make it through.
Hey,
But
hopefully
also-
get the right lineup out, right?
Yeah, but I also think about like friendlies and how they haven't really prepared that well. They have had really good friendly games, but I mean they canceled 2 friendlies and they have a lot of problems in the federation, which I don't think helps them.
Yeah, we hope that doesn't impact our games for the World Cup. But yeah, it's something to keep in the back of everyone's mind. That's definitely not going to help us.
Well, yeah. Then last thing I want to say is just for anyone that feels offended, I'm sorry, but at least you made it to the World Cup. It's a big accomplishment. I'm gonna say this at the end of every World Cup video we make or international.
Hey, you know what? Just to get there, it's like we've seen the qualification process. It's insane. Some federations, what these teams have to go through. So, round of applause for all 32 nations. Even Qatar for automatically qualifying. But you know what? Like whatever happens. If Canada finishes 3rd, 4th, like still proud of the boys and what they've been able to do, and just gotta keep looking forward, right?
Especially
if they fight, then yeah, I'll be proud of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm already happy that they finished in first. That was like a huge accomplishment. But like even to like other people from other countries, like especially the CAF nations, like I know we disrespected them a little, all having them in 4th. Cameroon, but like I think you guys have the hardest qualification, harder than CONMEBOL, and I think it's unfair that only 5 teams get to go through. I think it should be a little bit more. Like Mourinho said, I think 8. 8 teams would be great. You would see more quality come out of Africa, but yeah, there's congrats to every team that made it, and sorry if you feel offended by this video.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Let us hear it.
Let us, just
our prediction. So
Hey, listen, everyone's got their opinion, right? If there's someone out there that says Ghana's going to finish first, hey, you never know. This is the world of soccer. Anything could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unpredictable,
Belgium could go 0 for 3. That would make me happy, but I doubt it.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. This is Foresight Football. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Later.
Peace out.